So we are going to start off with our speakers today with Tim Straub of Nercon, and he is going to be telling us about his position as a project manager. And I'm going to unshare my screen so that we can see Jim.
Thanks, Lynn. I like your question there, because I think a lot of what I'm about to talk about has to do with exactly that, and what our expectations and what a lot of people who are still in school think is their path and what's going to happen. Myself, I graduated from high school near the Detroit area. I actually grew up south of Detroit, so I'm about 500 and some odd miles from where I used to call home right now. And because I grew up near the Detroit area, I pretty much knew someone or knew plenty of people who worked in the automotive industry around any of the big three automakers, GM, Ford, Chrysler, those types of businesses. And so when I got done with high school, I thought that I wanted to work in that kind of field, but maybe more on the engineering end of things. And I really thought that after I got done with college, I would be a mechanical engineer of some kind. And so I headed off to college with that plan in mind. And I ended up at the University of Michigan, and I took all the classes that they thought were required for becoming an engineer, including calculus, physics, chemistry, and the other assorted curriculum. And I did that for about 4 years. And even though I was a good student in high school and I was able to get into the University of Michigan, I found out after 4 years that I'll blame it on my self-motivation. My self-motivation was really not up to the task. And after a few bad grades and finding out the hard way that the University of Michigan averages all of your grades and does not replace a bad grade with the good grade, I went and talked to a counselor, and I found out that I had put myself into a pretty hard spot. So I walked away from college, and I took a break, and I took some time to consider my options, and I actually worked. And after working at a couple of part-time jobs, realized I really needed a real job, what I'd call a real job. And so I went back to school a little bit older and a little bit wiser, and I looked into trade schools. And I found a trade school. I got involved in that school, and I found myself in a class mixed with both people younger than me and older than me. And I graduated from that school, and I got what I would call my first real job. I thought it was going to be the career for the rest of my life. And for about 4 years, I did that job, which was not in manufacturing, not even close to engineering, something completely different. And after 4 years, new owners came along, took over the business that I was working for, and they gave me the opportunity to go and find someplace else to work. So I set out and tried to find a new path, and I showed up where I am now today, 20 years later, at Nercon Engineering in Oconto, Wisconsin. And I filled out a job application just like everybody else does that walks in the door, and I honestly kind of half expected that they would just send me on my way and say thank you for coming in today. But I got the opportunity to talk to someone in HR, and I told them all about my desire to work in engineering for a mechanical company and how I had gone to school at U of M with hopes of being a mechanical engineer. And I promised them that if they offered me the job, that I would prove myself. And I got a position. I walked in the door as an entry-level assembler here at Nercon, which is the way to get in the door. That is an entry-level position. After 2 weeks, I worked here for 2 weeks, and I was asked if I wanted to be a machinist. Well, I wasn't really sure at that time what that really meant. So after some conversations, I said yes. And I found out later that this was absolutely an awesome opportunity to learn a trade. And over the next 4 years, I learned all about the machines in the machine shop. I learned how to measure with micrometers and calipers. I learned how to use manual lathes, knee mills, and eventually got up to the point where I was programming the CNC machinery that's here in the machine shop at Nercon. Sometimes, because of those parts that we make here for our conveyor systems, I would have to go and look at AutoCAD drawings in the manager's office. I was able to pull up the AutoCAD drawing software, and I learned how to inspect the drawings, create my own dimensions, and find out more information about the parts that I was supposed to be making. And that gave me some more knowledge on how things worked And eventually I found out that Nercon had a job that happened to be an office job for a programmer for fabrication machines, and that AutoCAD was one of their requirements for that position. So I got thinking to myself, and I said, well, I can see the advantages of an office job. It's cleaner than the machine shop. It's definitely quieter. And so I approached Nercon management and asked about the position, and eventually they offered me that job with the understanding that there was learning involved and that I would take on that responsibility. So the programmer job introduced me more to AutoCAD and the mechanical drawings that I was just starting to learn about. And at this same time, Nercon Engineering got involved with NWTC, and they offered the opportunity for all employees to better themselves through continued education. So this meant that you could take a class or several classes and earn a certificate, and certificate completion meant that there would be a pay raise eventually involved. And the classes were all based on things that Nercon deemed were important, like math and drawing skills, communication, and then even some more process improvement or quality control. I believe there were some welding classes that were available as well. And this is where I had the opportunity to really work at what I was hoping for, and that was to get more into AutoCAD and drafting. And I used this time and took these classes, and I caught up with some of the mechanical designers that I was already working with while I was in the programming department. So I went from being a simple programmer of lasers and punches in the fabrication department to programming more complex machines like our CNC router that works more in a three-dimensional type atmosphere. And at the time, that was a brand new position for Nercon. It was a brand new machine, so it was quite exciting to be invited to do that. And because the programming department was really closely related to our detailing department, I eventually got to use my skills, and I got invited to work in the detailing department too. Detailing is the part where the engineering drawings that come from the upper level, when we talk about engineering, engineers create the drawings, and then the detailing department takes those drawings and it breaks them down into the smaller parts and components that need to be made to create the conveyor that we build. So I got an opportunity then to move myself into detailing. Well, now after 20 years with Nercon and continuing education classes and plenty of on-the-job training, I now use my skills to manage sales projects for a division of Nercon that's called MCE. MCE stands for Modular Conveyor Express, and we sell conveyor that Nercon has built for years and has created as a proven solution to a lot of people's conveyor problems. On a daily basis, I get emails from people all around the United States. I get phone calls from people across the United States, and these people call me up and they treat me like an expert when it comes to figuring out what kind of conveyor they might need for in their plant. So people use our conveyor for bottling beer, maybe carrying cases of food. A lot of things we've been doing lately have to do with sanitizing, maybe even filling hand sanitizer bottles, things like that. And these people call me up and they're starting a new plant or they're modifying the plant that they have, and they rely on me to tell them what kind of conveyor would be best for their application. And I then use my listening skills to find out what they're in need of. I use my reasoning skills to determine a course of action for them. And then I get pretty good at asking questions, because sometimes people think that I should know exactly what it is they're looking for. Somehow magically I can read their mind. But I've learned that asking questions is a very important part of this process. And then when I get all done with that, my favorite part, again, going back to drawing and the mechanical side of things, I get to use AutoCAD and I create a drawing. Sometimes I use features of their existing facility. Sometimes I have to figure out whether or not the conveyor is going to incline or decline or go around some type of barrier, or maybe the columns that are already in the building. I just love the idea of thinking through all of these interferences and getting this done. And then when I am done, I'm all done being a draftsman for that job, then I get to be the salesman. And a lot of times I have to explain to the customer any choices that I made based on conversations we had previously. I then present them with a drawing, and show them the potential solution to their needs. I also then use my technical writing skills. I create proposals, and on that proposal is a list of the specifications and the equipment that I'm pricing for them, descriptions of what's included. Sometimes I have to describe what's not included. MCE can fix a lot of problems, but not all of the problems. So there's a division there of what is available from me and what's not. And then, of course, there's a price tag on that proposal as well. And sometimes I have to be really good salesmen to remind them that it's not all about price, that sometimes it's more about what it is that they're getting. So I've learned most recently that every single one of us is a salesperson, and that the company that I work for is going to do better if I help them to that point, and eventually, hopefully, that there's a trickle-down effect and that I do better in the long run as well. So most recently, I've taken some classes where I've learned how to be a better salesman, and sometimes it has to do with being persuasive and reminding people of the value of what they're getting. When you're asking people to spend thousands, tens of thousands, or even $100,000, sometimes it helps to be confident in the way that you present yourself and your product.
All right. I'm going to have Allison check the chat. One question that we have is, I heard you talking about the certifications that you worked on while you were employed at Nercon. So is it possible for a student to join Nercon right out of high school and then to continue to work on those certifications and possibly even a degree while they're working?
Absolutely, yes. Nercon has been known to do that in the past. I believe I'm going to just ask Jim. Yeah, we're still in the process of doing that. I know we've done internship programs for people before too, people who want to learn machining, fabrication machines, those types of things. So yes, Nercon is always interested in finding young, new talent and nurturing that too.
So can you give me an example of maybe a couple of positions that would be more entry level for a high school student, for example, or recent graduate?
Well, we do have, we still have the one I mentioned where I got in as an entry level assembler. And then really in that position, all you have to do is be able to learn to use, if you don't already know how, hand tools, simple hand tools, and build the conveyor itself, because everything we ship out is partially assembled. I say partially because we obviously can't build a line that's 30 feet long and stick that in the back of a truck and send it all as one piece. It has to be assembled when it's finished. But yeah, we do offer internships for other positions as well. So we have people who work in the machine shop. We have welders and mechanical design as well. So the departments that I closely work with are mentioned before too. People who work in engineering, also mechanical design degrees as well. So people who understand how machines work and how to create those machines and drawings.
Great. Allison, do you have any questions?
I do not see any quite yet, no.
Do you have any yourself?
I wanted to just take the opportunity to thank Jim, because I appreciate when you said you were telling your story, and I wrote it down, because you said, they gave me the opportunity to find another path. And I think, as a young person, you know, I wish I could talk to my 17-year-old self, but to look at things in that light. They gave me an opportunity, and look where you are, right? So the sooner we know that as a person, but I appreciate your growth mindset, and how, so that is true. So
I'll admit that that's the older self talking now.
I know. Yes.
At the time, it might not have seemed that way.
Yeah.
But the moral of my story is, and I guess if I had to hand down a piece of advice to a lot of students, is that never give up on your dream, and remember that a lot of people are telling high schoolers, especially, you know, high school, then college, then a job, and that's not exactly how it happened for me, and that's not how it works for everyone. But I think that continuing education and taking those classes and making sure that you're staying relevant and up on your craft, I think is the really important part.
You got it. There is a question. What's the coolest part of your job?
The coolest part of my job, I've kind of alluded to it a couple of times already. I really like the idea of how things work. I really enjoy drawing and solving problems. So in a way, I get to do mechanical things. Everything that I deal with is nuts and bolts and steel and plastic. But in the end, I'm really solving a problem for someone. So I like to be able to move the chess pieces around the board and find what it is that's the correct solution for some people. And I don't always have a solution. Sometimes I have to say, sorry, I can't help you. But most of the time I say, well, I can get you this far. And so it's a balancing act. I get to deal with customers, and I get to deal with people who really know what they're doing when it comes to using machines and building equipment. So it's fun.